morning. It is 2:09 in the morning and I'm off to Barbados. So we're here with the TCMB team, and if we just briefly introduce ourselves, I'm with
Jamal,
Shakil,
Roland, Dwayne,
Right.
So Jamal, I understand you're the president of the team. You guys are essentially a community or karting club.
Yes, so originally we started out as a group of friends, friends that shared in a similar passion, and we decided to formalize what we were doing into a championship. So that is how the community grew from about 10 persons initially into probably 70 or 80 people actively involved in our WhatsApp community and driving on event days.
Yeah. We've obviously got a number of your drivers, you would say? The
drivers and committee members.
And committee members, excellent.
Yeah.
We'll start off with Shakil. Shakil's one of the quickest drivers here. And tell us a bit about your experience, karting-wise.
Well, I probably started karting around 2019. I started with a massive accident. But it is what it is. So steadily did about 4 events on and off between then and the height of COVID, just before COVID hit.
Yeah.
It was an experience really different from driving your rental cars. They're later, they're much more powerful, and they're less unforgiving.
Yeah.
But I would say it was with the club now, about from inception probably. Yeah, for inception. Because as Jamal said, it started as a group of friends just coming up and driving and moved into something what it is today. So, I mean, about just karting mostly, did some track day events.
Yeah.
And mostly karting, track day events, and your rental cars.
Amazing. Yourself is Roland, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been with TCMB?
3-4 years. Yeah, that's about it. I joined you guys, encourage the racing, race myself. But sometimes, as a committee member, you want to take a backing and do some IT work. So, because we want everybody to see that it's an easy process through.
Yeah.
And then we transition into karting. So from then it is interesting doing the background, starting with races, and then racing yourself.
Amazing. So do you take care of like a lot of the social media aspect?
Part of it. Okay. And then when we come, I sign up everybody.
Yes.
Slot them into the races, we give them card numbers and everything.
Yeah.
Through the process so that we will come, helmet up, go race.
Amazing.
Yes.
So you got a very important role when it comes to the competition.
Very important role.
If you don't get the card numbers right, people will come complaining to you, huh?
Correct is right. Correct.
No, that sounds
correct.
And then we've got yourself. Just your good name again?
Dwayne.
Dwayne, that's it. Like Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Without the muscles.
We pretty much embarked on this journey together with Jamal.
Yeah.
How it started for me, I just visited the facility. And met Jamal. He was just driving, and from there we clicked.
Yeah.
He then introduced me to the series. That year, that was 2021. I turned out to be the champion that year.
Amazing.
I turned out to be the champion that year, and from there we just connected and started to go from there.
Yeah.
We at TCMB, we just try to make it easy for everyone. And the interaction from children to females. See, we had a very quick female driver today.
Yeah.
We have a few more in the camp as well. Aja Innes, she's really quick. I worked very closely with her in the beginning. And we just continue to just have a fun, family-filled environment. And like having you here now, we starstruck. Because Roland would have mentioned earlier. We follow the karting tips. And we started and we were, you know, coming up here doing some stuff, and he would shoot me some videos. I was like, you know, we watching Lean In and hearing you describe all the different kind of bits and pieces. So, you know, we put that together and enjoying it first, obviously.
Yeah.
And the rest is pretty much history. We enjoy this journey.
We're going to hand over to Brent, because Brent is, you're a driver with part of the championship.
Yeah, correct.
How long have you been with the team?
Officially with the team,
Yeah.
a couple of days.
He's our newest member.
You could probably see from the attire. But yeah, I actually stepped into a kart for the first time 2021, December.
Okay.
My first event with these guys would have been in April. It would have been a real eye-opener to see how much of an improvement you could make. Because you had to. But the guys are really welcoming towards me. Being part of the team, I set them with open arms. I try to watch them wherever I can, because a lot of the time, usually at the back. It's a joy to be with the guys. Constantly learning. So yeah, more of that, and it was a real good opportunity to race against and the guys today.
Just handing over back to Jamal then. Going forward, started as a community, a group of friends. You're now doing your own championships. What's the next step for the future? Because it seems to be a growing team.
So one of the objectives we have as a club is to see as many people transition from fun karting into a higher karting class.
Yeah.
And you can see the beautiful facility we have here.
Yeah.
So we want guys to transition into the track days and the actual championships that we have here. So we know that at the grassroots level, it teaches you the fundamentals of karting, the fundamentals of racing,
Yeah.
and you can take those fundamentals and apply them to different disciplines.
Correct.
So we are heavy on getting kids involved, because it's fun, positive. It's a fun, positive environment, and you know, kids have a lot of energy, and you can see when they come to kart, you know, they're jumping up on the fence and just cheering on the parents or whoever. So we try to encourage as many people to come out, see what racing is about. What usually happens in the Barbadian community is that people believe that racing is beyond them.
Okay.
So what this does, it shows people that you could actually come and race for about $55 Barbados dollars.
There you go.
And you know, cheap, sweet, fun. You take as many pictures and videos as possible, and you have memories to share for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
Now, I'd love to show you guys these clips with the original audio, but the real shame was all of this audio was just corrupted by wind noise. Yep, it was very windy, we didn't have sufficient protection for the microphone, and it was such a shame because we only realised after all this filming that it was corrupted. Now for the next vlog, which is going to be released next week, we did sort out this issue, but in the meantime, I'm just going to have to give you a voiceover of what's going on. Now before my first session, the team recommended that I do a track walk so I can see how the track layout is. Generally speaking, when you're at a track for the first time, try and do a track walk so you can just get a feel for things. Now I'm going to leave you with a short segment, the one and only clip with the original audio. This is just after we finished the track walk, so you can see how bad the audio quality was with the wind noise.
Build up your speed. By the time you get to the end of the session, then you can start pushing. A few references you want to look for is obviously other drivers on track. We've got plenty of experienced drivers with us in this session who've driven this track, so I'll be following them and feel out the track more than anything. See, we've done a track walk, you can see that it's layout, but when you actually drive it at speed and feel
Now if you didn't make out what I was saying, basically I was explaining that your first session at a new track is always track acclimatization. So you should take the first few laps quite easy, at a slow pace, just see how the track flows. Obviously it's going to be different to when you walk the track, because number one, when you view it whilst you're walking, you're very high and elevated. When you sit in the kart and you drive on track, you're much lower down, and that does have a big difference. Additionally, you want to build up your speed across these first 5 to 10 laps. Gradually see where the sort of different braking points are, feel out how tight some of the corners are. And the good thing for me is I was with experienced drivers who've driven this track many times, so my idea was to just follow them and sort of see how I get along. Now we started off with 2 sessions, and in the first session we did a grid start, so I assumed, hold on, we're racing already. But it turns out this was just a qualifying session, so my track position didn't account for anything, rather it was based on best lap time. I got the 3rd fastest time, so I'd start the race in 3rd position, and for the race, yes, we did have another grid start. Now I got a decent start, and immediately trying to build up the revs and dive towards the inside line, passing kart number 12, and my idea was I need to get onto the back of kart number 3. Kart number 3, as it turned out, was Shaquille, and Shaquille is one of the quickest drivers over here, so he was a great reference to sort of learn from. At the start of a race, it's important just to keep cool and alert as well. You can see I passed kart number 12 earlier at the beginning of the lap, and just as we end the lap now, quick peek over the shoulder. I know I've covered him off and I can focus on whoever's in front. Now the main things you're looking for when you're chasing the leader is sort of where his strengths are and where your weaknesses are. I found he had slightly better speed on the straights, but also cornering wise he was a bit smoother. Shaquille was explaining to me post-session that he prefers a later braking technique, for example for the 2nd corner, and it's small things like this which across the course of a race add up and give you an advantage. So for the first few laps I was sticking with him, but as the race wore on he would just be eking out ever so slightly each lap. Now physically this track is fairly demanding, especially under the hot sun, which is what we had plenty of during this track day, and obviously it's a short track with a tight and twisty layout, so you're constantly cornering. You have some relief down the main straight and the back straight after turn 1 where you can sort of relax your hands, but other than that it does get quite intense on your arms. Remember, these are heavy biz petrol karts, so they do require effort to turn. This was a solid warm-up session, I'd say. We had 20 minutes non-stop fast laps, and I really got a feel for it towards the end of the session, which is where I was getting into a groove, and I actually got my fastest lap time by then, getting comfortable with the track layout. Now post-session is always a vibe. You rock up into the pit lane, you get out your kart, make sure you high-five, fist bump each other, show sportsmanship, but it's also the first time you're going to speak to each other, and that's where you really see the raw emotions of other drivers. It's a chance for you to discuss any incidents, any cool overtakes, any debatable driving, and you can tell just by the first session we've all had a lot of fun. We then had a short break until our next session, and we used this time to do a post-session analysis. So I stuck the SD card into my laptop and went through a post-session debrief of my footage. So let's tune in.
I believe I started P3.
Yeah.
Who was P2?
That was me.
That was you, right?
Yeah, as I told you, I didn't have no traction in the back. You passed me on the inside,
Literally,
right?
yeah, we started, and I think as you cut across the track, then you lost that momentum. So I'm like, oh, I'll just go down the inside. And most important thing to know, whenever you gain a position on the first lap, always defend. So you can see how I've got the
Gone to the
inside line.
inside, yeah.
Shaquille in front, he has enough space, he's confident to keep his position, so he stayed to the outside. I've defended, I've gone tight. When you go tight, you got to brake earlier, because the corner is tighter for you. So, don't brake late, otherwise you can overshoot the turn, and you can concede the position right after that. So now I'm up to P2, I'm thinking, alright, let's try and stick on the back of Shaquille. That was difficult. That wasn't easy. The main thing is, on long straights during a race, it's a good chance just to peek over your shoulder, see who's behind you. I think on this lap you were quite close to me actually, so I just kept that wary. Now, in a race, it's important not to keep on looking behind too much. Exactly, you lose your line. Set points, which is normally on the straights. So over here, and maybe on the next straight, just look behind. Judge the distance. Otherwise, focus forward. Don't get distracted. You'll find you'll be quick. The moment you look back, you're letting the guy behind know you're worried, you're under pressure, and he gains an advantage like that, psychological advantage. You'll notice there Shaquille is pulling slightly ahead. Initially I was struggling with this turn too. So
most people struggle with it.
Yeah.
Braking.
Exactly. I mean, you're approaching at high speed. and it's a tight, winding corner. So what I found was I was braking a bit too late, and maybe going a bit too deep into the corner. You can see I'm leaving space on the inside. There's a yellow flag. Whenever you see a yellow flag, obviously slow down. You know, that's the general rule. And in a race, to make sure you don't get penalized for speeding under yellow flags, just put your hand up like this. The race marshal will know, alright, this guy can't be driving so fast with one hand. So it's a signal for the guy behind as well, slow down. Yeah, lap 2, quick peek over the shoulder. We've opened up a bit of a gap now. And really I'm just trying to keep tabs with Shaquille. It's really interesting because there's always one corner on any track where you'll be like, you can use your body more to lean. And on your track it's done on, because I found you enter it as wide as possible and you should take it flat.
Maybe
So-
just a little, depending on the car.
Depending on the car, that's right. To help the rotation, as we're turning to the right, we steer sharply to the right. I'm leaning away from the corner to the left. You'll find the natural force, it pushes you away. And the more you sort of lean with your body to the left, it'll load the outside tires. And you're going to smooth the run all the way here to your apex. Now, you guys are right about the curb. Don't ride it.
Avoid it.
Try to avoid it. It's bumpy, it's you know,
rough, yeah.
it's rough, and I think I learned the hard way on one of the laps. Get the yellow flag, just put your hand up. I think this sort of middle final sector is again, it's flat. I found this track is all about momentum. You know, the moment you sort of slide or drift,
Yep, kills it.
to build up that momentum, it takes time. And this downhill like quite bumpy as well. So, you know, the most important thing is get the left on the left.
But that's impossible.
Straight line.
So much.
Yeah, it does.
So basically, right over here, yeah. I saw it got wider and wider, the barrier. The closer the center.
Actually covering both of the bottom.
Oh, it's meant to go over,
But
right?
I got certain drivers is just
Pushing
you have drivers like Dwayne Holmes, Shaquille, and Jamal.
But whenever it's bumpy, just grip on the steering wheel a bit more. You know, be firm with your grip. Don't let the cart control you, because you'll want to go all over. Just be firm on your grip. And initially I was braking for that last one.
Right there, right there, so exit.
Yeah.
Have a little hump right there that should push you.
Right, okay. About here?
No, go down further. Go further.
Right there.
Go further, right there.
Ah,
There's the
gotcha.
little bump there.
See,
It's not like it's a little slow,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
where the tarmac joint
correct.
has a little bump in there.
Gotcha.
You
But
started
that's what I
taking
was
your
feeling. I was feeling
Because
something.
it's very tip,
Yeah,
and then you just push it. It's actually push you on for the race line.
that's right.
But
That's
some
right.
people when it tip, they get so afraid they just come off the race line. But
Yeah,
you just
yeah, yeah,
hold the handle still and keep going.
I keep going, exactly. I mean, a few times.
See it?
Right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
A few times I went too fast and nearly ended up on
The famous Claymore.
the claymore. I mean, you're not defending. You know, be nice and wide for this corner. So again, you can be not let this is where you want to focus on your braking. So it's either at the barrier, maybe just after the left hand side. So I started before the barrier. Then I was delaying it to the start of the barrier. For example, Shaquille, he was telling me he's braking a meter after the barrier. So, correct. A couple of lines you can take over here. You can either come out like I'm doing, or you can sort of stay in the middle and wrap around the corner. This time I went a bit wide.
Race, I usually wrap.
You wrap around, yeah. main thing, get close to the right hand side. I could have been a bit closer there. And this corner, it's all about straight lines. So as soon as you see the path over here, this is a straight line. So driving a straight line, rides bottom there, and it's about here, right? Where you go for an early lift. Here, maybe about early lift. So you don't brake, you lift, get rotation, full gas again, get close to the barrier, and then come out wide. You're just on the limit there, going over. And then you get, and you're following me well. This was good. This was good. Again, over here, you're just turning a bit too early. Delay the turn, right? Stay to the outside.
So here we go then, the final session of the day. You can see the sun has shifted. It's not as intense on the track anymore. The track has cooled down somewhat, and the wind really picked up during this session. So we got slightly cooler conditions, but my objective is to set the fastest lap possible, and we're only going to achieve that in the fastest kart possible. So we're going to do a quick kart change with Shaquille. He's going to take my kart from session 1. I'm going to take his kart from session 1. And number 3 is Meta, I guess. Now my best time in session 1 was 26.8. So I was hoping to achieve 26.5 or even slightly lower. Now obviously the track is subject to the barriers. During our break there were obviously other public sessions going on, and they must have shifted the barriers slightly, so the track became a bit wider. Nonetheless, it was a productive and positive session. On the final lap of this session, I managed to hook up a perfect lap and get 26.2 seconds, which I was very pleased with, and you can watch how I did that on the track guide video. Now when I went to record the audio for the outro, we obviously had the same issue with the wind noise, so I'm just going to dub over what I was saying. And overall, it was a brilliant day of racing at Bushy Park. The community was so welcoming, they were so friendly, and really they made me feel at home. And this is what we're trying to capture with the behind the scenes vlog style footage. We get the raw organic interactions with different communities at different go-karting tracks and showcase what makes them unique. Now I'm looking forward to later this week, where we're going to drive a 2-stroke kart at Bushy Park and document what a typical kart owner track day looks like. So stay tuned for that video, which is going to be released next week.